You're listening to the world-famous White Roof Radio, Woofcast number 628, recorded August 22nd, 2017. Tonight, brought to you by CravenSpeed.com, MotoringStripes.com, and OutMotoring.com. Mini Performance, Speed, and Bike Racks. That's OutMotoring.com. Let's get started. Hey everybody, it's DB in Arizona with a brand new episode of the world famous White Roof Radio, talking about Mini Coopers for you, like we like to do. Joining me this week, as always, my good friend Mr. Todd Pearson from MotoringStripes.com. Todd, say hi.
I'm here. Hello.
And of course, the good Reverend, our head mechanic, Mr. Chad Miller from Detroit Tune. DetroitTune.com is with us as well. Chad.
Wahoo, everybody.
Wow, look at that. That's pretty fancy. And like I said, we're here talking about Mini Cooper stuff for you on whatever night this is, like we like to do. It's probably going to be a short show, although I think I'm going to just jinx it by saying it's going to be a short show because there's not a lot going on right now.
90 minutes later, we'll still talk.
90 minutes later. It's going to turn into an episode of the talk show with John Gruber, and it's like, oh, look, we went for 5 hours.
I'll tell you why it's going to be short is because my glass is 2/3 empty.
Uh-oh.
So.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm half empty right now, but you know, we like to talk. We like to talk to each other.
Yes.
I mean, that's, you know, those are things that we haven't done in really 2 weeks.
Yes.
Yeah.
A little bit of slack here and there, and you know.
Yes, and picking on Brian Dallas, who isn't joining us. Brian was a rock star.
I kid.
Brian was a rock star traveling this week to visit his son in Colorado. So, and then he had to be at work after only getting 5 hours of sleep. It's just like, really? I only get 5 hours of sleep regularly, Brian. Come on. No,
delayed flights suck, man.
Delayed flights suck. Nothing will suck the will to live out of you quicker than delays at the airport, because nobody wants to be at the airport any longer than you got to be. That's the worst.
You have a plan. You're like, okay, I'm done. I'm doing this. And all of a sudden it changes. And you're like, nah.
And now you're just wasting time, because it's like, okay, I did my thing at the city that I'm at. Now I'm ready to go to my next destination, which in Brian's case was home. Now, I'm sure that had he known, I mean, because it's like, oh, there's a delay. Great. How long? Well, I don't know. So you just can't leave, because I'm sure he would rather have left and come back and spend more time with his son. But then he would have missed his flight. But if he stays, then he's going to have to wait for 12 hours. So it's ridiculous.
Well, I was delayed. I remember I was delayed on the way. This is a shout out to Southwest Airlines. When I came out to AmViv, back in May, right?
Yeah.
So I fly out there in the evening, and I try and never take evening flights, because this is what happens. Inevitably, you push to the end of the day, and you fly, and things get backed up. Like one thing goes wrong in the morning, and it backs everybody up. And by the time your flight at 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening, you're a couple hours late. Well, that happened to me, right? There was a problem, the plane coming from Seattle or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I was like 3 hours late getting to Vegas. Well, Southwest, in all of their glory and customer service, like everybody gets up in the air, and they printed off and handed every person on the flight a voucher for like $150.
Whoa!
Because the flight was delayed.
Wow!
And I'm like, it was okay, because I
thought they were going to start making drink tickets, like make it rain like with drink tickets, you know.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it was 150 vouchers. So I'm going back to Vegas in the spring on Southwest.
Wow,
so
that's pretty awesome.
It's not bad.
Yeah. So sometimes, it doesn't, like I said, my rule of thumb is don't travel late in the day. But if you fly in an airline that has good customer service, like Southwest sometimes does.
Yeah, usually does.
There you go.
I have good luck with Southwest.
And people were cool about it. I mean, everybody's like, what are you going to do, right? The plane had a mechanical problem, coming in. Everybody's like, okay, just fix it. If there's a mechanical problem, I'm not going to
You can't really deal with mechanical problems.
No. Exactly.
It happens.
Anyway, Brian's not with us tonight because his flight was delayed.
Because his flight was delayed. That's the long version of that. And it's a slow week. There is literally nothing going on right now. I heard that some Chinese company's thinking about buying Jeep, or Fiat's thinking about selling Jeep to some Chinese company. Otherwise,
that would be a huge mistake in my
Otherwise,
opinion.
I think Jalopnik right now is even just like, Mustang crash at Cars and Coffee, followed by Mustang crash at Cars and Coffee, followed by Mustang crash at Cars and Coffee. I mean, it's a slow week.
Or the dude that jumped the drawbridge.
The people, those poor folks. I kind of felt bad for them.
I know.
Because
right?
They're in New Jersey. I don't know if you guys saw this, but there's this. I'll have to find the stories. I'll link it in the show notes. But there's this. I think it was a family in like a little Toyota whatever roadster. They were what?
I think they're in RAV4.
Yeah, they were in RAV4, and they're cruising through New Jersey on this like really crappy bridge, apparently that everybody hates. And just out of nowhere, the bridge starts to go up. The drawbridge.
Yeah, the drawbridge.
There's no alarms, no warning. Nobody in the drawbridge control room actually saw this car going across the bridge, and they ended up jumping the bridge.
So what do you do? Like any good dad, you gun it and turn into Batman.
Duh.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you said it was
damaged
an
the
old
car,
couple.
so.
So, I mean, at that point, you're like, well, I've always wanted to do this. I've seen it in every movie and every car show.
Exactly.
Let's do this.
Exactly.
And, his wife fist bumped him, and they did it.
Maybe I can get.
There was damage to the car and stuff.
Episode of Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah.
Right?
Good grief. Anyway.
Well,
this is what I'm
it's
talking
actually,
about. It's a slow week.
We were talking about a slow week. It's been a record slow week at DT. I mean, we have been, 3 or 4 cars waiting for us at the shop every single day for weeks since the Dragon. I mean, literally. Yeah. And then this week, Marzo comes, brand new employee. It's like, oh, God, we're so busy. And he's been hearing it all week. He's excited. He got there, and there was one car.
Y'all are eating donuts.
Yeah, we're all eating donuts and, basically, just jaw jacking. And I was like, well, okay, let's mop the floor. Let's keep the shop clean. And, so it's been kind of funny that I was like, really? I swear to God, we've been busy. And Nick's like, yeah, we've been so busy. It's been crazy. So
I know the feeling, Chad. I had my best month of the year in July, and then August hits, and then all of a sudden the break's gone. But
yeah,
we were about to say this before the show. I think this happens is it's time for kids to go back to school. So everything stops in the world because parents are like, got to get the kids off to school, got to get the kids off to college. Let's get through the next couple of weeks.
Yep.
And then things will start to pick up here towards the end of August, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm not worried about it at all, but it was kind of funny just everything stops all of a sudden,
Yeah, but that's because back to school, so.
It kind of worked out well because we had Woodward Dream Cruise here this week for every single car enthusiast in the Midwest, basically. I mean, everybody that was anybody was here. I saw Mustangs up here with plates from Florida to New York, all over Indiana, Ohio, and stuff like that. But kind of on a little bit off topic here, Marzo has never been to the Woodward Dream Cruise. So we went out Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday.
I saw lots of pictures. I saw pictures that he was posting too.
Yeah, I saw a lot of pictures.
I don't think we went out Friday night, but then we were out Saturday for a while, and he was like, you know what? You pretty much ruined every car show I will ever go to at this point because this is a burnout box, a car show, a rolling soundtrack, a one of every car I've never seen. I mean, he out Tuesday night because he saw an aqua car, which is a car boat combination.
Oh yeah,
and I was like,
it's like the toy Boda.
Yeah, basically, it's small. It's size of a dinghy, but it's cool.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you've never seen one of those? He goes, no. And so we went out Wednesday night.
I remember he said that on Facebook because I was thinking, wow, that's weird because, we see them all the time in California. I mean, it's the same 6 cars, but we would see them all the time in California.
Places that have water normally.
Yeah, for sure.
And we've got obviously a lot of water around here. So then Wednesday night we go out and we're sitting there and we're having a couple of drinks around the Woodward area as we're waiting for our table at this place called Vincetta Garage, which is a amazing little diner set in a old school automotive shop.
Sweet.
And he sees one. He's like, oh my God, there it is again. And then not more than 2 seconds later, because it was literally a car behind it, another one passes. And he's like, 2 in one night. This is amazing. So it was cool to see his reaction to something so neat and so Detroit, and taking him out and seeing that aspect of it. And he's a car guy through and through. And, we took him out Wednesday night in the Cabriolet. He got to see all of the ins and outs of everything and, got to see it with the top down. And, you could just see him in the rearview mirror, pivoting this way and then pivoting that way and then taking a picture and then pivoting around again and then jumping up and seeing something else. And, that's what makes cars cool is somebody that can truly appreciate it. And that's what, we try to bring to the table. So
nice.
It's kind of neat.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. So we've got that. Which really, we don't have anything. We do have some news that we're going to talk about a little bit. Todd's got some updates about his car this week. Gabe still really, really loves his Clubman. We'll talk about that. Really,
That's really not an update. I think it's just
it's
Well,
really,
he's got kids. This makes sense. I mean,
Gabe Loves the Clubman is kind of like the same up. It's on the same lines of Go Motoring is coming.
well, it's coming in December. It's launching.
It's right. It's coming this December. But every time Gabe puts up a column that says something JCW Clubman, the title should just be "I love the Clubman," and that should just be it. Should be nothing else, and then whatever words he posts. But the title should always be "I love the Clubman," and I think that's our show title for the week. Anyway. We'll get to all that, plus, God knows whatever else we can dig out here in just a minute. Let's get started. Before we do, let's get started with a little bit of news. Let's talk about one of the sponsors here on the White Roof. How about our friends over at Out Motoring? You guys get the email, so of course you saw the Mini Cooper Oscar Mobile, the Oscar Mayer Mobile, the Wiener Mobile built on a Mini Cooper. That's one of the many things that you're going to find over at the blog at outmotoring.com. Yes, there's a blog now. I'll link it up in the show notes. Go check it out. But there's all kinds of cool stuff you need for your car, and outmotoring.com has it. And stuff that you don't need, that you just need to carry around, like in your purse or your pocket or your jacket or whatever, like mini keychains. You can get those over at outmotoring.com. Projector lights for Countryman and Paceman that look actually pretty badass. A little bit spendy, but man, they're cool looking. You can get them at motoring.com. You can also get them for your R50 and your R52 and your R53. Kind of get rid of them old, faded, crappy halogen headlights in your R50. Put some decent projector lights in them. Aaron's got you covered over at outmotoring.com. Go over, check it all out. Plus, all kinds of other modifications that you want. Pulleys, intakes, all that jazz. You can get at outmotoring.com. You need stuff for your person? It's back to school. Who needs a new mini shirt, new mini hat, new something mini for your person? Mini shoes? Go over to outmotoring.com. It's got the full line of personal apparel products, mini branded, mini logos. It's all like the original stuff. It's all legit, like going to your parts desk and buying it, except you're supporting one of the fine sponsors here who not only supports us and motoringfile.com, also supports just about every club across the United States and all the big events. I mean, when was the last time you went to a Mini Cooper event and you didn't hear the word outmotoring.com, $100 gift certificate? Never ago. This is what I'm saying. Go over there and check them out. Make sure too, when you get over there, to make sure, if you're not already signed up for the email newsletter, do make sure to do that. When you do, you'll start getting emails from outmotoring.com, and they're cool emails. You get all this really cool information, but you also get a 5% discount code for the month. So every time you place an order, you're automatically going to save 5%. Perfect. Super duper awesome. Don't forget to free ground shipping on most orders over $195, and an ever growing line of Aston Martin parts. Because I just think that's funny. I mean, now he's got everything. You want sunglasses, shirts, wheel covers, wheels, brakes. I'm with Gabe because I think he just needs parts for his car. So it's like,
are Aston Martin people, though, like Porsche people or wannabe Porsche people? Because you see them, people who walk around with like a Porsche hat and whatever.
Yeah.
They don't even own the car.
Yeah, I think Aston Martin people are the same way. They'll wear the Aston Martin shirt out to Cars and Coffee while they're driving their Camry, right?
Or they're just big James Bond fans.
Or huge James Bond fans. Sure. Yeah.
Something like that.
Or who knows? All that. Anyway.
Maybe that Aaron's just a big James Bond fan. That's it.
Maybe. That's entirely possible. Yeah, okay, let's go with that. Anyway, go over there, click over to outmotoring.com, check all the stuff out. Plus, I mean, like I said, everything you need for your Mini, everything you need for your person, parts, accessories, and so much more for you over at our friends Outmotoring, outmotoring.com. Mini Cooper, Mini Performance Speed, and, the R53 Wienermobile. That's outmotoring.com.
Maybe you said wiener.
How about some news music? Jesus.
I hope you're recording.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Hope the red light is on. Yeah.
You know what's really nice about the new version of Audio Hijack? It actually has a red light. Like, for reals, there's a red light. Like, oh, good, I'm recording.
Yeah, mine has a red. Oh, you finally upgraded.
Oh, yeah, I upgraded to the new version of Audio Hijack. Yes, nice. Anyway,
so looking at the dock.
Yeah, I don't have to look at that. So let's go over to motoringfile.com briefly because, well, there's really nothing except for Gabe's review of the Clubman versus the Countryman. Cooper asks, except here's the thing. I read it, kind of. And it's really just nothing more than another review for the JCW Clubman. So if you're interested in a review of the JCW Clubman, by all means, go over there and check that out.
I love the Clubman,
and we do yeah, I love the Clubman. That's, I mean, right there. But we do find out too that the all-electric Mini E concept is going to be debuting at the Frankfurt Auto Show. So it should be interesting.
Which actually is coming up in about 3 weeks. I think it's the 14th of September.
I think so. That sounds about right. So I would imagine that with the all-electric Mini, I'm sure some of you are really excited about that, if we're even going to get it in the States. But if we do, it'll be rad, I'm sure, and it'll be nice to actually get a peek at it, because I'm really tired of seeing the old Mini E car. So anything new will be better.
I bet if they do it, it's going to be limited, and they'll for sure sell out of them. I mean, they're only going to bring a couple hundred of them, just to kind of like dip their toe in the water. I mean, BMW's already dipped their toe into the water with the i3 and the i8.
Right, but now with the i3 and the i8, do they only sell those on the coast, or do they sell those? They sell them everywhere?
They sold a bunch.
Yeah, because I can't imagine an electric Mini being sold outside of the coast. You know.
Yeah, DB, you need to get out more.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have like 3 neighbors with electric cars. I got like Teslas. I got Nissan Leaf and a Chevy Volt on my block.
That Nissan Leaf's an
as long as
car.
they go far.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's the thing. It's if you're pretty close.
I'm kind of excited about the electric Mini, and we'll see how it goes. Anyway,
I'm indifferent. Like I like the idea of a Tesla. I mean, one because it's really effing fast.
Oh yeah.
And it's pretty nice. I mean, it's pretty luxurious. Yeah. But the question is, nobody else is really living up to it. The Chevy Volt, selling so. Right. Other electric cars, not so much.
Yeah, and the Nissan Leaf, you could you can buy them for like less than half price too after they have almost no miles on them.
Right. So the question is Tesla really going to change the marketplace for electric cars, or is it just them because they're building something so unique?
Maybe.
Like, is Mini going to be able to like capitalize on that wave of excitement, if you will, for electric cars? And I just think the answer is maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, how many people go to the Mini dealer and say, man, you don't have anything electric, I'm going to go somewhere else?
Well, right? And I don't think the plug-in hybrid Countryman is selling terrifically well right now. I mean, the problem is the dealers just can't get them.
Well, yeah.
Like,
that makes it hard to sell.
2 of them, so.
Yeah, so I don't know. Anyway, keep an eye out motoringfile.com for that, plus anything else coming from Frankfurt. I believe our man Drill will be at the show this year again. As soon as I help him finish getting his press credentials, he'll be there sharing pictures, and I'll make sure you guys get access to those as well. So it should be a good time. See what kind of fun things are at the Frankfurt Auto Show this year. What else do we have for news that was interesting? Oh, I saw something over at BimmerFile that you guys might enjoy. The world premiere of the BMW Z4 concept. If you're sleeping under a rock and you missed that, go and check it out because it's a very interesting looking car. And there is
they actually unveiled the real car at Pebble Beach last week.
And it's amazing looking car. It really is. You know what it looks like? Kind of. It looks like the Mini Cooper Roadster concept. Kind of.
I think it's got a little bit. It's got a little bit of Z8 in it. Remember,
it does have a little bit of Z8. You're right.
Uh-huh.
It's got a real shark. It's really aggressive looking, kind of a shark face looking.
Which was a great looking car for its time, but you see a Z8 now, and you look at it and you go, "Man, that thing looks dated." I mean, it's like that the car you showed us, DB. What'd you send us?
Oh the Manta Ray.
Yeah, the Manta Ray from Dean. What's his face?
Dean Jeffries.
Dean Jeffries. Gosh, I've killed enough brain cells for this week.
Apparently. Anyway, this is over at BimmerFile, the new Z4. If you missed it, this is the Z4 concept. I think it's kind of brilliant looking, personally. I think it looks pretty badass. But this is like in conjunction with Toyota, right? Is that this car?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
But I don't know. I don't know where it's going to be built. But here's the interesting thing and how it applies to minis. Not that it's just a cool looking BMW, but it leads me to believe that somewhere in the bowels of BMW corporate, which now includes Mini. I mean, they're making decisions all down. is that they're looking to push the envelope, if you will, of design and get out of the boring. I think they realize they're going to have to do something other than the boring middle of the road kind of crap they've been cranking out at both BMW and, I mean, I'm going to say it too.
And Mini, you're right.
And Mini, I think.
And even to an extent,
boring.
Rolls-Royce.
Yeah, but Rolls-Royce is pretty conservative to begin with, and that's kind of their thing is bespoke and kind of a conservative. It's always been a little conservative, but I think that kind of ethos has gotten into the BMW and Minis too much and made them a little too boring. So anyway, the Z4 concept hopefully can tell us, you know what, there might be something cool around the corner here.
Yeah, hopefully. That'd be really rad. Also, if you're over at BimmerFile.com, click over and check out the photo gallery of the BMWs at the Monterey Historics. That's actually kind of cool. A lot of cool old BMWs cruising around the track. My Instagram has been filled with nothing but pictures from the Historics. So
it's fun. If you ever get the opportunity to go, really you got to go to Monterey Historics.
You have to go. But anyway, go over there, check it out. It was a really cool gallery. Some really awesome pictures. Something else to do while you're poking around. Yes, don't forget, Motoring File's BMW cousin is BimmerFile, and we all work together as one big happy family. Except Gabe loves his Clubman. This is becoming disturbing. It's starting to. I'm worried. Like, I think someone should call his folks.
Need some intervention action going on here.
I think Gabe might need some intervention action going on with this Clubman thing.
I agree.
You know what? Something needs to go. No, this is bad. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it.
Save that for next week's Black Roof Radio.
I'm not going to. Speaking of things, I was about to say, if something goes wrong with the car and then kind of sours him on it, but I hope it's perfect. I hope it's completely problem free. But speaking of, I'm going to segue into this.
Yes, please.
Just past week, so I'm at work and I come home in the afternoon to. I was like, grab some lunch or something, park the car in the garage for about an hour, get back in the car, start it up, and I hear something. And I'm thinking there's kids across the street screaming and playing. And it's like, hear this. And I'm like, no, wait a minute. That sounds like a car alarm, right? I'm like, what the, it's the middle of the afternoon. It's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Why is there a car alarm going off? So I kind of roll my window down and I'm like, wait, that is my car making that squealing noise, right? I have the most horrendous belt squeal noise. I kind of rev the engine a little bit, and it gets louder. And I'm like, yep, that's my car, all right.
Oh, no, not again.
And I start to back out. I hear this, it's an old school belt. Chad, you know what I'm talking about. Like
right.
Like your water pump going out on your 79 Nova, right?
Yep, so exactly.
That sound, and I kind of rev it up a little bit and start to back out of the garage, and then it goes away after about maybe 15, 20 seconds. And I'm thinking to myself, this can't be good. My car is, 18 months old. It's got 12,000 miles on it. What the hell is causing a belt to squeal like that?
And Todd, what kind of noise is this squeal? What's it sound like?
It was kind of a... So that's my sound effect. I told you to prepare for that.
I just had to have that this week. I'm sorry.
I had to throw that in there. But anyway, so it's a belt squeal effect. So I'm thinking, this is not good, right? Mm-hmm. So I go, and this is after the car had been driven too. It's not like it had been sitting cold for whatever. It was not raining. There was no water anywhere. There was no reason for the belt to slip. Everything was warmed up, and it wasn't like driving hard. I think I just come from a 15-minute drive, 20-minute drive, and then it sat for an hour.
Okay.
So anyway, I go act up to the dealer. I'm doing some more work. And I decided to grab one of the techs. I'm like, hey, I just had this weird thing happen, right? Had a belt squeal issue. And he's like, asked me a couple of questions. And, I'm like, no, it wasn't wet. Wasn't, never done it before. And I'm thinking to myself, unless this thing starts doing it on a regular basis, what do you do? I mean, Chad, It's like somebody comes in and they're like, hey, my car's doing this. And you guys drive it for a week. And you're like, it didn't do it for us, not even once. Right. You give them the car back and 5 minutes later, it does it for them, right?
Right.
Never fails. So anyway, I'm thinking, whatever. So I talked to one of the other techs. I'm like, have you ever heard of this happening? And he goes, oh, yeah, I had a car like a couple of weeks ago that came in. And basically the crank is separating like it did the old school cranks, Chad, how they separated on the R53s. Yep. Uh-huh. They're the same way now. They're kind of designed the same way. And he had one do it at 10,000 miles, just completely, separated. So he's like, get an appointment, get it in here. We can at least tell if that's it, if it's starting to. But I'm like, are you effing kidding me? You know, virtually brand new JCW, 12,000 miles on it.
Mm-hmm.
Got this belt squeal. Something's going. No, it wasn't enough to throw. I didn't throw a code. Nothing was decreased about power in the car. Nothing changed or anything. The car's driven fine for a couple of days. Because I said, well, I'm going out of town in a week or so. I'll see if it happens again. I'll leave the car with you guys, let you look at it. But that, and then of course I just see today on the local Kansas City mini forum, somebody took their car in, brand new Cooper S with 10,000 miles on it. They're getting a new engine.
Wow.
They threw one of those drivetrain error codes.
Yeah.
That we've all seen.
Yeah.
In F56, it happened to us in the F56 on Mini Takes the States.
Like daily.
I want to say that was 2014.
14, yeah. We could trigger that thing just by finding a loose patch of dirt.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, this guy, threw this code, took it in. Turns out he's getting a new engine.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and it's not, I got to tell you, it's not the first new engine I've heard in F56. I haven't heard, it's really calmed down for a while. Things have been really good. There was some initial issues in like 15, but my car is a 16 build. Mm-hmm. It's like a February 16 JCW. Mm-hmm. The JCW had been out. It wasn't a brand new one. They'd been making it since July of 15. Right. I think it came out. So I've just got, Chad, you got any thoughts? I'm just racking my brain.
I as I'm listening to you talk about, I'm wondering how much of it is really true, or some of it is maybe a tech who doesn't really know what he's looking at, or not even that he's not skilled. It's the fact that this is what the BMW flowchart is telling him to do. Right. Yeah. You hear this noise, replace the engine. It's like, well, it could just be this, but this is what it tells me to do, so this is what they're going to pay for, which is great for his pocketbook. Yeah. Well, we've had multiple cars come into us just, in the last month or so, and the dealers are telling him, it's like, well, hey, you need a whole new engine. And it's like, you might want to get a second opinion of that before you just start, shelling out, thousands of dollars, because this is all out of warranty, in your pocket type stuff.
Oh yeah, that's $8,000 repair at the dealer, 8 to 10 at the dealer.
Oh yeah, at least all day long.
Oh yeah,
and I'm not looking to scoop this up and be like, well, I need that $8,000. I'm like, just get a second opinion. Just get a second opinion. And they're like, well, where should I go? I was like, well, obviously I want you to bring it to me, but go to anybody. I don't even care at this point, because you need an $8,000 engine. Get a second opinion. Right. And we've found that all out of the three cars, one did need an engine because the piston was missing. Although the dealer didn't know that.
I'm sorry.
You laughed.
Did you say that it actually needed a new engine because there was a piston missing?
Well, that's what I told the customer, but they didn't know that because the dealer didn't tell them that there was a piston missing in the engine. But
they
the
couldn't
other two,
tell by the way it ran. I'm sorry. I'll let you go. Finish, Chad. I'm sorry.
It did run. Yes, it did run. Not well, but it did run. Yeah, exactly. So the other two cars, one needed a timing chain, and the other one needed something small, very similar. So we fixed two cars that they wanted to put, $8,000 worth of work into for under $1,000, and I was like, I'm glad you got a second opinion. So some of these, like needing new engines, we're not as up on the F56s because we're not working on as many because they're not out of warranty, et cetera, et cetera. I'm wondering, do they really need engines? Because
I know that the ones that I've seen do, and there was the issue with the what do I want to say, the camshaft slipping. Yes. And running back and forth, and what it was doing was that it was shaving metal into the engine block.
Yikes!
Okay. And once that happens, it's done.
Yeah, that's bad news.
Well, I mean, when the engines that had the bearing missing and that they imploded, no problem. You need an engine. That's 100%. But I'm wondering if some of these things can be fixed in other manners or something. But because overall, that engine has been, and I've been very impressed with
Pretty solid.
the quality of this particular engine, which is good. That really, gives me a little bit of space because the Peugeot engine has just been, and it's not only for the Mini people. I'm getting a lot of calls from overseas Peugeot owners going, this engine is just a pile of steaming cattle poop, Oh yeah.
Even on the N18 motor, Chad?
Oh yeah, they have all the exact same problems that we had with that motor, and it's very interesting to see some of the differences between the two motors because Mini decided they needed the turbo to be in this orientation and stuff, and Peugeot was like, well, no, you should do it like this, and it really makes more sense. The manifold design worked better. I mean, everything about it. But I gotta digress here. They still have turbo oil line issues. They still have oil filter housing seal issues. They still have some of the other the timing chains and tensioners and stuff like that. So
Todd and I drove a Peugeot in Europe once. It was fun.
Yeah,
it had crank windows in the back.
It did. Electric in the front, crank in the back.
Hey, cheaper that way.
Oh, and our friend Kate was back there, and she was cussing like a sailor. Oh my god, it was so fun. Sorry,
good times.
To get on TV's good side.
I hear Peugeot and I get distracted, and all of a sudden I'm back in England and I'm mostly drunk, and Kate's in the backseat yelling profanities because she has crank windows, and I just couldn't help, but it makes me laugh every time.
Hey, it's all good. It's all good.
Anyway. So
it is interesting to hear some of the stories, and and we will start to experience this stuff, in the next year or so. I mean, the F-56s are going to start coming off warranty. They're going to start coming into the shops. We're going to really get to start to play with them a little bit more. We're going to start to see okay, what really is their problems? How can I fix the problem that Mini designed into the car? And there's not a lot of them. Because obviously I can't repair a missing bearing, but it's.
And here's going to be the challenge, Chad, is that here's another issue that people have been having with the new Clubmans, specifically, and that is the new Clubman has an electronic parking brake. It's no longer you just press a button.
My girlfriend's 5 Series has that.
Yeah, and BMWs have been doing it for a while now.
Makes it really hard to do J turns.
Yeah, exactly. It's not possible. You can no longer just reach down and crank it up. But anyway, so I've seen this now. I know 2 people personally. This has happened to on their new Clubmans. Is the parking brake would not go off. They no matter what they did, they could not shut it off and not drive the car. And I want to say I don't think either one ever happened while it was driving, but one of them had to be towed. It was like it's not even possible to drive this car. The parking brake will not release no matter what he did. And I've still, they take it to the dealer and they do their little voodoo on the computer and fix it. And I'm like, oh yeah, you're fine. And I'm like, this is weird that I know 2 people this has happened to. There was a parking brake malfunction.
That is weird.
And,
I'm sure that any dealer that is going to be there, they're going to know multiple cars that have seen this.
Yeah.
You just happen to be at the dealer all the time. Maybe 2 of those people that are in that particular dealer all the time.
One here locally and one in Florida.
Okay, so
yeah, 2 completely different places. You just have to be a Facebook acquaintance.
Right. I think that those type of things are going to happen. I mean, when you get rid of all mechanical devices within the car, no matter what that is, you're going to have a certain amount of failure rate with those pieces, and it's going to be much more essentialized. Basically.
Well, you think about it, Chad. All the things that have gone from physical before, everything now that's now electronic. Pretty much, your steering wheel is electronic. Your accelerator you've got a Cat 5 cable plugged into this thing on the floor. You're no longer pressing something that's pulling a cable, opening up a carburetor. None of that happens anymore. There's nothing mechanical about it. And now parking brake, there's nothing mechanical. You press a button and you say go. And it's more like playing a video game than driving a car anymore because none of this stuff is physical. And that's the complaints. What was it? Gabe posted a couple of weeks ago for us an article on why throttle response is so horrible in new cars.
Right.
And it's because it's all simulated. It's all just simulated what it is.
Right.
That's so bad in my
They
car.
can turn it up or they can turn it down, and they don't want to make it too much for this person or too less for that person.
So unless you buy like a really high-end, Ferrari, Lamborghini, F-Type Jaguar, something like that, you're not going to get, they really spend a lot of time with electronics tuning those to where they feel like they should. But then in your average car that you get in, you press the accelerator and there's a little bit of a lag and you get used to it.
Dude, you know what? I have to say this right now because that is one thing I am not getting used to in the Roadster with the automatic transmission.
Really?
The throttle response, dude, is so bad.
It's horrible.
Horrible. Yeah. Even with like the sport button pressed and the lever over in sport mode, if I'm at like a dead stop and I get on the gas, it's just like dum-de-dum. Oh, okay, we're going.
Like, oh, okay. There you go.
It's like a 3 Mississippi count. I'm not kidding.
Yeah,
it's really, really bad. I mean, it's almost dangerously bad. I'm surprised that actually made it out of QA. It's like, yeah, sure, that's fine. Sell it.
I'm going to tell you, they haven't fixed it in the F56. I think the throttle response is one of the most horrible aspects of this generation cars. And this goes for hardtops, four-doors, Clubmans, Countrymans, all of them.
Yeah.
They have terrible throttle response.
Even your car with the manual transmission is still bad?
Absolutely.
See, because I blame it on the Roadster because it's got the automatic. Because I know with the stick, it's not as bad.
No, it's just the electronics of it all.
Oh, nightmare. Okay.
Electronics. But anyway, so
sorry
Chad,
interrupt.
Good luck. You're going to have to go to computer school to start learning.
Oh yeah. Well, we're already, this is part of the whole new hire and getting into things. There's a whole lot of things within our company that we're trying to do to make things better, so that the customer can get a better car experience, whether that is a one-touch window or a different type of turn signal, or how can we code this car to become better for you? Turning up the throttle response, or selling you a product that and that's where companies like myself come into play. All of our sponsors, you need a little more throttle response. You find the sprint booster, or you find the tuner that can do that, or you find the item that you feel the car is missing. And that's when what I do every day. A customer comes in and is like, I love this car. It is just amazing. I can feel the road. I can do all of these things, but I really wish it did this. I was like, well, I can make that happen. You just didn't tell me you need that. And I can, here you go. Here's a phone mount. And they're like, oh my God, that's the most amazing thing ever. This car is complete. I'm done.
Right.
And it's like, well, there you go. Craven Speed full mount, $75 at DetroitTune.com. And you can buy this, here you go. And that's the type of thing that, makes me smile every day when the customer has this epiphany and he's like, I've been looking for this for a year. I was like, well, here it is. You just didn't look in the right places. You didn't Google it. You didn't find out the right things. And the internet can be a blessing, and it can be a huge hindrance, because somebody comes in and is like, well, I read this on the internet. It's got to be this. I was like, well, no, it's not that at all. It's actually this. And what you wanted me to fix was $2,000, and what needed to be fixed was 75 cents. So, you have to make sure, and you really have to know that the right things are there without just flying off the handle and saying, hey, this is crazy. Let's make this happen. But there are always options no matter what it is. So
very cool.
Yeah. Well, hey, fingers crossed. I'll keep everybody posted on my car in the squeal if it happens again. But it seems like it wasn't normal, a new car doing that.
No, that doesn't sound normal.
Yeah,
you didn't have any service done or anything.
You didn't run over a squirrel or something like that.
The one thing I didn't do, and
you have a rat problem in your area.
I'm kind of regretting it now, is what I should have done. I was in a hurry. I should have just pulled over, popped the bonnet, taken a look, because 9 times out of 10 that'll solve the problem, and you can go, there's your problem. Whatever it is. You're right. Right over a squirrel. Look, there's what's left of a squirrel tail going around there.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, a side anecdote of this entire story is we had an acquaintance of ours. We go to the chiropractor every week, and he drives a Dodge Ram pickup truck of some sorts. I don't even know. So we had it in the shop, and we were getting some stuff done. And he's like, "You hear that?" I was like, "The ticking of the AC compressor." He goes, "Well, no, wait, let me turn it on." He hits the AC button, and it goes, the exact same sound you're hearing, Todd. Yeah. And I was like, well, the belt doesn't sound tight, or it could be something. I'm like, "Did you have the coolant flush today?" And he goes, "Well, yes, I did. Of course I did." And I'm like, "Oh, well, they've got coolant all over the belt."
Spilled it all over the belt. Yep.
Yeah, and I asked him 3 questions, and he's like, "Yes, they did that. Yes, they did that. And yes, they did that." And I was like, "Well, you might want to just hose everything down and then go back, or just go back." And he's like, "I'm going back." So it was kind of interesting hearing the sounds on his car, and then I guessed the exact 3 things that he just had fixed, and all 3 of those things related back to the noise he was experiencing.
Right. That's awesome.
So,
awesome.
Cool.
I'll keep everybody posted. Hopefully it's nothing serious. And I mean, my car's under warranty. I really don't. I'm not concerned.
No.
I'm not worried about it. That kind of thing.
But it's still a hassle having to be without your car, and not really you really are out of it because
I'm sure they'll give him like a E36 BMW.
They give him a 7 Series as a loaner.
Right, exactly.
An M5 or something ridiculous.
We don't have anything else. Take the Lamborghini.
Yeah,
it's okay.
take the Lambo, Todd. Sure, go ahead. Anyway, let's remind you guys about one of the other sponsors here underneath the white roof. Our friends over at Craven Speed, OG Pacific Northwest since 2005. First of all, I want you to click over to the About page, the contact page, and I want you to read all about the very fine and good-looking staff that is running Craven Speed these days, and it's quite an amazing crew of folks over there. And then once you've done doing that, I want you to find something that you like, I don't know, stubby antenna, maybe a cold air intake for the F56, maybe a pulley, maybe you want a phone mount, you got something for another car. Just go over there, and then what you're going to do is you're going to see the image on the screen. It's going to look like a whole bunch of pictures, like customer photos, right? You're going to click on that customer gallery page, and then you're going to click the button that says share your experience. Check out this cool Craven Speed hack DB is going to show you guys. You're going to click share your experience. When you do that, you're going to get the ability to upload a picture of your car with Craven Speed stuff on it, like a short antenna or maybe the phone mount, something really cool, right? Just because you want it to be Craven Speed, you want to make sure that they feature your image. And then with your submission, at least for the time being, I don't know when they're going to turn this off, but if you submit a photo, you're going to receive a coupon good for 10% off. What? Save 10% on Craven Speed to upload a photo? Hello? Who's not going to do that? Get over there. Make sure you show off your car. Make sure you take a picture of something with Craven Speed in it, Craven Speed stuff in it, and upload it. And then when you want to buy more stuff at Craven Speed, you just got a 10% coupon. Whoa, perfect. Awesome. Go over to cravenspeed.com. They've been doing this longer than anybody. They've been one of the OG sponsors here underneath the white roof of BimmerFile forever. Craven Speed also supporting all the clubs and all the independent mechanic shops like Detroit Tuned, like Helix, like Wayland, like Jerry over at LeSueur, like the guys in California. That's Kellen's like, yeah, I want to help those guys out, right? And you go to those guys and they're selling you Craven Speed parts because, number one, they're kick-ass parts. And number two, it's because, Kellen and the boys over there, they care. They really do, man. I love you guys. Anyway, go over cravenspeed.com. Make sure you check them out. If you do order something and you didn't upload an image first, so you didn't get a 10% coupon, which is just silly, but there's a space there in the order form for you to leave a comment. Make sure you mention that you've heard about them on White Roof Radio. And thank them for supporting White Roof Radio. We really appreciate that. So do they. They, of course, are friends over at Craven Speed, cravenspeed.com. But I believe I am done. Gentlemen.
Sir.
Does anybody have anything else?
Not at this time.
Okay, I'm going to have a hell of a time finding all the links for you guys for the show notes, but do your best, and I'll do my best, and there'll be cool show notes for you guys. This week's image will be a shot of Dean Jeffries' Manta Ray, so you know what we're on about, as well as crazy 60s-looking cars of the future.
Good times.
I think that's going to be hilarious, showing a picture of Dean Jeffries' Manta Ray with the title I love the Clubman.
I love the Clubman.
And it needs to be in quotes. I really love the Clubman.
I really love the Clubman.
Gabriel 2017. That's what the title of the show needs to be. With a picture of that. It's going to freak people out.
So it needs to be
I hear he's getting it tattooed on his arm.
The Clubman. Quote.
Instead of mom, it's I love the Clubman.
Gerdger. comma 2017. Kind of like that, Todd.
Yeah.
Okay, there's our title. Anyway, it's gonna be crazy looking thing. You guys are gonna be confused. Once you listen to the show, you'll understand it all. Yeah. Magically, like you already do. Also, we put
it's like clickbait. It's White Roof Radio clickbait, people.
It'll cut me all in the picture, man.
It's White Roof Radio clickbait. Jesus, yes, it is. And if you missed it this week, last 2 weeks ago, and 2 weeks before that, and 2 weeks before that, we're posting Black Roof Radio. If we record a show, we're recording Black Roof Radio. It's like getting two shows in one. But
just warning, if you decide to pay for it, understand that it is not family friendly.
Sometimes it's family friendly.
Sometimes it is, but sometimes it's like a Red Fox album,
Yes, definitely. And we are unfortunately out of butter. I'm sorry.
Yes, and sometimes it is a Red Fox album. Oh my God, talk about
Kids,
a bizarre
you
reference.
have no idea what I'm talking about. Just look it up.
Yes, just look it up. Oh, good grief. Anyway, you can get to Black Roof Radio by joining the Black Roof Radio Club at Patreon, patreon.com/White Roof Radio. Kick in 50 cents, kick in $1 show. Boom, you get access to Black Roof Radio, plus anything else that I come across that I decide to share with you, usually quite a bit before I share it with everybody else. So, it's like membership. Membership has its privileges. Not a lot of privileges at this time, but hey, I could still win.
We're not going to give you 5% cash back yet, but we're working on that.
Hey, I could win the Powerball tomorrow, so you never know.
I hope so, actually.
Boy, me too, right? Oh, my God. Anyway,
I would share.
Out of anybody. You deserve it.
I think I would agree. I would share. At least, or something. No, we'll have a big party. It'll be fun.
$1.50 back to every Patreon a week.
There you go. Yeah, exactly, or something like that. Anyway, if you want in on the
Black... share, I'd say with Patreons, share with you guys.
Yeah, I don't think Patreon does the reverse. Anyway, if you guys want to get in on the Black Roof Radio goodness, just click over. There's a big link at the top of whiteroofradio.com says Patreon, and that's where you go to go get the Black Roof Radio. It's not in the regular feed, and that's by design. And like Todd already mentioned, sometimes it's kind of family friendly, and sometimes it's like listening to a Red Fox album. This week we talked about politics and Pebble Beach, so we were all over the place. It's all of our pre-show banner, really. It's a lot of fun to listen to.
NC-17.
Yeah, we'll go NC-17. It's a lot of fun to listen to. I go back and listen to it. I don't edit it. There's no music. There's no sponsors there. It's because you guys. That's your guys' show. That's what you get for helping support White Roof Radio.
It's like the outtakes at the end of a Burt Reynolds movie.
Exactly.
But with less boobs.
It's like, did you remember Cannonball Run? And you get to see the outtakes at the end of basically just Burt Reynolds and Dom DeLuise laughing their asses off.
Yes, it's
you should watch that movie once a year, no matter what.
I'm overdue to watch Cannonball Run. I really am. I feel like a bad car enthusiast because I haven't watched it in a long time. Go watch it. I don't even know if it's on Netflix or Amazon or what. I'll have to go.
It's free on the internet, man.
Speaking of the internet and CarPlay,
I think it's on YouTube. I'm not kidding. It's on YouTube.
It probably is. Go ahead, Chad.
It probably is. Go Google search Bad Obsession Motorsports and see the mini build that they're doing. And we've been watching it at the shop on YouTube for the last couple of weeks. And they basically put a four-wheel drive system into a classic Mini, and the amount of engineering and steel work that goes into this car that they've been doing for 3 plus years.
From the creators. Go ahead. Sorry, Chad.
It's well worth the look.
Oh, this thing looks crazy.
And
I'm linking up the YouTube channel.
The British humor is right on par for any Mighty Python, esque type of fan, and spanner wrenches and aluminium, because that's how we say it. Get over it. Is the exact quote that I heard today. So that was it's very well worth the time. I mean, it's on par for Roadkill. It's on par for any good YouTube video that you've ever seen. So
nice.
Your dogs even like it.
Exactly.
People are just now arriving home at 11:21 p.m. So.
Wow. Okay.
Hey, that's how you roll in D-Town.
All right.
Yeah.
So
I came home early to make sure they find White Roof Radio could hear my lovely buttery voice
Dulcet
on the
tones.
podcast.
Yeah, so there'll be a link to that that YouTube channel in the show notes, gang. I'm actually getting my show notes together now. So there'll be a link to that. Otherwise, I do believe we are done for the week. Thanks for listening. Thanks for saying subscribed. If you're not subscribed, you guys know that's the hot ticket, right? You want to click over to iTunes. You want to go open up your favorite podcast client. Click over to the subscribe page on White Roof Radio. I've got a lot of them listed there. You can just go over there, find out how to subscribe. That's the way you want to get the show. That way when the new show comes out, boom, it just shows up on your device automatically. You can also subscribe via email. Don't worry, I don't spam anybody via email, although I probably should. What I use that for is so anytime a new show goes up on the site, you get an email notification, so you can click back over and listen. Or, of course, you can follow us on Twitter. We're White Roof Radio on Twitter. We're White Roof Radio on Facebook. And, oddly enough, we're White Roof Radio on Instagram as well. Amazing how that works out. But that's it. We are done. So thank you again. This is the part of the show where I do like to make that funny clicking sound, and then I say, questions, comments, or concerns, go ahead and click back over to whiteroofradio.com. There you can leave us a note in the show notes. You can also email us feedback@whiteroofradio.com. Until next week, gang, this DB, I'm done.
Cheers.
See ya.
Thank you.